Hello everybody, this is Clive5 and you are watching Most Embarrassing Replays. Thank you so much for joining me today on the show where you send me your embarrassing replays. I watch them, commentate them, and put them up online for everyone to see. And if you'd like to be on the show, please send your embarrassing replays to replays@poweroverwhelming.net and we'll get you on the show. Right now we're going to go ahead and get into the first match, so stay tuned. Hello, what do we have here? It is a matchup with SkillyJr, the red Zerg in the top right corner. SkillyJr, I like that name. It sounds like something you get at a fast food restaurant. I'll have a SkillyJr, something you get in a skillet, maybe. That comes in a junior-sized portion, as opposed to the full-sized portion. SkillyJr, going with it. And in the top left-hand corner, we have MTU Pyro. Does not sound edible at all. He is the blue Terran, and the map is Backwater Gulch. A little bit larger of a map with this rather distinct dual prong. Well, I guess it's not rather distinct since Zelnaga has a dual prong, but it does have a dual prong ramp leading into the natural. And it's not even really a ramp, it's just a dual prong passageway. This replay is starting off well. Overlord is scouting in the correct direction, and SkillyJr is going to follow that up with a drone scout to the other two bases, it looks like. Just to make sure he's pinned down, freezing a little bit. Uh-oh. I'm not sure why I'm getting a little bit of freeze there, but hopefully that disappears. So just making sure he's getting that scout in as early as possible. With Zerg, it is so important to scout earlier against a Terran opponent because they can block that main so quickly, and then you'll be without a scout. And before you'll know it, they have a Marine out that's going to fire away at your Overlord that's floating slowly into his main base to see WTF is going on. Gas and spawning pool going down first. Curious because this is, since it's more of a econ focused map, slightly on the larger side, I would definitely be expecting the Zerg to be going hatch first on this, but SkillyJr maybe looking to get aggressive a little bit early, already mining that gas, so we'll likely start going for that speed early on. Meanwhile, Pyro just now starting to scout out. Going to have a little bit of a late pinpoint on SkillyJr's location. Now here comes that Overlord wandering into the base of Pyro, and it is going to see that there's a single gas down. See that there is a second barracks being produced, and now going to start getting fired away at by this Marine. Natural now going down. So still somewhat of an early hatchery. I do like that, or approve of that, or whatever. SkillyJr doesn't need my approval. SkillyJr speaks for himself. Overlord is maybe just... Oh, man. Thank goodness for this little peninsula, because otherwise that single Marine wouldn't have been able to stagger out quite that far and pick off that Overlord. Ouch, that hurts. Definitely have to be careful about that as a Zerg player if you're wandering into your opponent's base early on. And man, that early Overlord count, definitely an important thing, but it looks like he's doing just fine supply-wise. Isn't producing Zerglings as quickly as I thought he would, though. That speed is being researched. And, speaking about being researched, let's talk about Stimpack. Going for very early Stimpack. Not that it will complete early. A lot of Terrans I've been seeing have been starting that Stimpack research a whole lot earlier due to how long it takes to research now. It's up to like 3 minutes. Oh, looks like an SCV just was able to creep in there and see what was going on. Most likely saw that Baneling nest being produced as well. Good response from SkillyJr, seeing a second barracks going down for Pyro can assume that the army is going to be a bit more infantry heavy. Those Marauders, however, do stand up fairly well against Banelings, but get a couple of them in a group and they will be no match for them as well. Ooh, I kind of like the composition here. 2 tech labs, a single reactor, so that he can get a really good balance of those Marauders and those Marines. He's going to have to be careful, though, to make sure that those Marauders are out in front so that they can take soak up some of that Baneling damage. Natural now, just finishing for SkillyJr. Silly. And electing not to move out that first queen, as I see so many Zerg players do. They morph that first queen and then move it out to the natural so that it's ready by the time the natural has finished morphing, whatever you want to call it. Now a factory. So 3 racks facts. SkillyJr in the meantime, it looks like he is off to a roaring start. Just about getting started on saturating. That's the word I was looking for. Saturating his main. He could stand to bring a few drones over if he wanted to, but since he's not very well saturated in his main yet, it's not going to hurt to bring those over as well. Actually, it looks like he has his rally point from his main set over to his natural, and even though he's not saturated in his main yet, he's going to have to make sure that he changes that rally point later on and make sure that he does finish saturating his main as well. Army size wise, looking good for Pyro, I have to say. Check that out. Very strong army. If he were to push out right now, he would actually stand a good chance. Though, SkillyJr does have scouts out on the scene, so would be able to see when Pyro is going to start moving out and plant down some last-minute spine crawlers, should he need to. Pyro should really start considering going for an expansion at this point. Putting down a bunker at the top of his main, playing it very defensively, doesn't know that he actually has an army advantage right now. I'm wondering if he has actually seen much of what's going on inside SkillyJr's base, and no, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like he's scanned around at all here to see what is going on army size wise, to see what's going on if there's a natural yet. So definitely behind in the information game. Now it looks like he's going for some tanks. Those are going to destroy some good Banelings. Or destroy some Banelings real good. However you want to call it. It's all going to work out. Banelings are going to go splat. It's always a sight to see. And this Zergling providing invaluable information that Pyro has not yet expanded now. And SkillyJr now fully on 2 bases, solidly roaring away. Going to be taking, well, not going to be taking, already taking a heavy economic advantage. Check out that mineral count and, well, and the gas count too. Solidly ahead. And also now busting down that rocks, getting ready to take his 3rd as well. Both Xelnaga watchtowers. So, man, SkillyJr has a monopoly on map information. Definitely something that is priceless and something that could stand to benefit MTU Pyro as well to try to improve on. MTU Pyro nervous about mutas, but oh, there's a Spire. Did he scout that? He must have. Yes, indeed. Good scout there. In the meantime, though, man, starting to fall behind. Definitely needs to start going for that expansion. Please, no, building a starport instead. Oof, boy. He's still ahead army-wise, and could potentially move on out. Nice. Popping in and out so quickly that Overseer is just going to drop in that Changeling. Going to get a valuable scout as well. Yeah, and the point should be made also that SkillyJr hasn't scouted the inside of Pyro's base for a while, so to be able to see what's going on there is important too. I do see that he has some spore crawlers in his mineral lines. Definitely nervous about those banshees, it seems like, or maybe drop harassment, but nothing of the sort going on in Pyro's base. Reactor on that starport, so probably going to be producing medevacs. Just about half done on that command center. This bunker isn't even full yet. Dude, you gotta move out. Seriously, you're about an expansion and a half behind. Your third should be building right now. And SkillyJr is going to get even more ahead on that econ. It's going to be on 6 gas, and you never want to see a Zerg on 6 gas. Another scout going directly in the main, has no idea about what SkillyJr is producing, what his army looks like. Mutas. Oh boy. Well, this should be interesting. I mean, he has many Marines, but once you get that ferocious mutaball, takes a lot of Marines to pound your way through that. Changeling. Nice. Blended in. Just like nothing is different. Alright. Army size wise, the gap is narrowing. Pyro now starting to move out, rallying those Marines directly to the mineral line. It looks like to a specific SCV. Now that's cute. Have to say I haven't seen that before. Oh, party's over. And that chain filling is coming along for the fun too. Well, looks like there's a bit of a drop. Missed that one. Sorry guys. But easily picked up by those mutas. Again, 8 mutas, 8 Marines versus 9 mutas. And a spore crawler. Not so great actually. SkillyJr, the only thing I could say is that your creep expand could be a little bit quicker. Definitely plant down way more. You definitely have a huge mineral surplus. You could have like 4 or 5 queens out just planting down these things around the map. Really an invaluable thing as a Zerg player to have that creep spread. Wow, so many mutas. And not enough Marines to handle it, because those Marines that just got dropped off totally shredded to pieces by those mutalisks. Yeah. And it looks like Marines have almost a 1-to-1 ratio against these mutas too, so yeah. Really is only a matter of time. Sure, there are these turrets here, and they're going to put up a bit of a fight, but in terms of a standing army, Pyro is not going to last very long against this army. So, gonna hit that old fast forward button just a little bit until something starts moving on the map. Income-wise, curiously, they're even. Pyro able to utilize those mules, and the mules do really help a lot. Also kind of wondering why SkillyJr is not on a 4th base now. He definitely could support it. Well, also he's not using all the minerals he even has, so yeah. Check out this Overlord Sausage Fest. Also curious why these tanks are down here. Or up here as opposed to down here. Oh boy. Ultralisks. McSkillyJr nearly at 200 and 200 army, morphing in Broodlords as well. Broodlords, Ultralisks, a ball of Mutalisks, a ball of Zerglings and Banelings. This is a movable and going to be severely awesome when it happens. So, just waiting. Oh, looks like he scanned his own army, maybe afraid of Changeling or something. I think scan does reveal Changeling. Now at 200, creating a wall of spine crawlers. This is kind of hilarious. And also taking the gold over here and probably the gold over here next. So, going to be expanding that mineral lead even more. Where is he? You know, there are some Thor out. The Thor are going to do well against the Clump Mutalist. And Marauders do well against Ultralisks, but man, he's just kind of outnumbered, I think, at this point. Not bringing along the tanks either. Oh, these Ultralisks are going to get left out of the party. Oh, Baneling struggling to get to the targets, but do eventually make it there. Oh, man, just utterly cleaned up. And wow, Pyro GG's. I kind of want to see the carnage from McSkillyJr. Just destroying the base of Pyro. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? We're going to follow up the fun with a second match, so stay tuned. Alright everyone, this is a matchup between Sherazade, the green Protoss in the bottom right hand corner, and ChaoxTech, the Lavender Terran. The map is Belshire Beach, or as I like to call it, Laguna Beach, because it is so beautiful and tropical. Check out this scenery. Palm trees and everything. It makes me feel as though I am on vacation, and it is getting close to the 4th of July, and very soon I will be on vacation, so pretty excited about that. How you guys doing tonight? I am pretty excited for this matchup, because anytime I see some Masters level players sending me embarrassing replays, I get pretty excited. Because when master level players can admit that they are doing something wrong or embarrassing or just plain unconventional and out of the ordinary, I really like to see that, just to help encourage other players who maybe aren't as strong to also send in what they have. So we are seeing Sherazade scouting right away, and of course this is just a 2-player map. It's a GSL map, so if you've not seen this map before, don't be too alarmed. It's not in the Blizzard map pool. It is part of the GSL map set, I believe, and we are seeing a little bit of zapping away from the probe. Nothing too exciting going on quite yet. First gas going down for both players, actually. And first barracks just about complete, so ChaoxTech will most likely be producing a Marine right away to get that probe out of its base. Ooh, gangbang from the SCVs taking down that probe, so not as much of a hurry on that first Marine, though it is still going to be somewhat of a priority, of course, because you do want to boost that troop count any way you can. Not a whole lot else to spend minerals on that early anyway. First Zealot out. Hasn't used any Chrono Boost yet. Sherazade hasn't, that is. And that's, I haven't, well, granted, a little bit of a pause there. Sorry about that. It wasn't a pause, it was a map freeze, or playback freeze, I don't know. Let's see, and now ChaoxTech wanders into the base. Yeah, there hasn't been any Chrono Boost used yet, which is very interesting. Now that first Zealot is out, gonna try to pick off that. Ooh, just not able to get the SCV. So close. And not going to pursue. ChaoxTech even sees it and says 100 energy on that Nexus. Oh yeah, Shirazade now remembers, whoops, got a Chrono Boost something. I missed a Chrono on a probe. Yeah, talk about actually missing many Chrono Boosts, perhaps rather. Now going to start Chrono Boosting that Warp Gate Tech. All important Warp Gate Tech. No Protoss player goes without it. So we're still seeing just a single gas from ChaoxTech. That's not too out of the ordinary. And also going for a fast expand. Now also going for that first factory. So almost undoubtedly going to see those Hellions that ChaoxTech so loves to use. And 2 gas now for Shirazade. So might be able to see a bit more of a gas-heavy build, and that first century is coming out, so that is pretty indicative of a dual gas build. Might start actually falling behind in the econ. Only a single bunker going down from ChaoxTech, and not a whole lot of coverage. This natural expansion is quite wide and not very easy to defend. What he will be able to defend against with the bunker in this position is more of a run-by situation, but most definitely Shirazade, should he move his troops in, will be able to come back here for some economic harassment should he choose that route. Still not going for a Nexus yet, though. It does look like he's slowly kind of creeping out with those pylons. I am wondering how familiar Shirazade is with Protoss, since it does sort of seem a little bit sloppy, his play, missing some Chrono Boosts here and there. And a first robotics facility going down. That's always nice to see. Probably an Immortal or something, or actually probably an Observer first. I know a lot of Protoss like to go Observer first. Now those Hellions are starting to be produced, and Infernal Pre-Igniter also beginning to research. So here is the classic ChaoxTech build. Still not the most spectacular bunker placement from ChaoxTech. Still vulnerable around this back ledge to get picked off a bit. Though, I don't know. Not too fond of that positioning, I guess. Nexus going down for Shirazade. Finally, income-wise, quite a bit behind. Behind in the harvester count, behind in the income, ahead in gas. But ChaoxTech is not using a very gas-heavy build. That being said, Infernal Pre-Igniter is just about complete, and those Blue Flame Hellions are going to come out, roving around. 2 of them already out on the scene, just popping in for a scout, it looks like. Maybe going to be able to get a few kills. I don't think that was his intention, so to speak. Ooh, bringing probes off to attack Hellions? Not smart. Not smart at all. The Hellions do get taken down. Though ChaoxTech has many more where that came from, and Pre-Igniter is now complete. First siege tank also being produced. So ChaoxTech's mid to late game switcheroo is about to be complete. Oh no! That siege tank stuck. I did not know that that would happen, and it doesn't look like ChaoxTech did either. So slight bit of a map artifact, I guess you could say. Shirazade looking to get aggressive, bringing his troops in. I do want to take a look at that army count. Slightly ahead, actually. Dominant in the gas count. Though, with those quick Hellions, I've seen some games of ChaoxTech's before where he just runs by regardless of what he sees there, and almost getting force fielded in. Definitely wants to trap those Hellions inside the force fields. Ooh. really has to be careful about running. He should have left those stalkers back. Ooh, but now all of his zealots got picked off, and all of the sentries too. Yikes. Zealots and sentries very vulnerable to Blue Flame Hellions. Now trying to kind of juke around, it looks like, just so he can get in for a scout, maybe a run-by. Nope, there are too many stalkers at this point to get a run-by. So, ChaoxTech's typical economic harass so far, not so good actually. Looks like he's going to send out an SCV to start building his third. It's all evened up on income. Just about. Oh, actually, I take that back. Actually, take a look at the harvester count. Quite a bit behind from Shirazaki, so he should be expending some more of that chrono boost on probes. Look at it, he has it all stacked up in his nexus. Now here come the Hellions. They're gonna get by. Oh, just one gets by, and I don't think he's gonna get any kills. Just one kill so far. Maybe a second. No, not even a second kill. So, no good on that economic harassment. Twilight Council about half finished, so I'm guessing we're going to see some Blink Stalkers. Guessing that he also knows about the tanks, Sherazade that is, so that he can blink up into those tanks with taking as little ranged damage as possible. Again moving out, leaving himself vulnerable to these Hellions. The Hellions are going to race in. There's nothing back in his base. Scan goes off. ChaoxTech sees the opening and is going to lunge in. All these stalkers are in the wrong place, and here come the Blue Flame Hellions. Oh, probes being incinerated. Wow, there goes that. Stalkers, in the meantime, moving in for a counterattack. Oh. Completely obliterated. And Sherazade, no choice but to GG in that game. No army left to speak of. And behind in income. Wow. How quickly that disintegrated for Sherazade. Huh. Well, thank you for ChaoxTech for sending me that replay. Not necessarily embarrassing, though it was, well, embarrassing for Sherazade. So yeah, I prefer to see games that are embarrassing where you lose. And I am running out of replays though, so I'm a little bit desperate to commentate basically anything that's in my inbox. So that's a call out to you guys. If you have any embarrassing replays, please do send them to replays@poweroverwhelming.net. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Community match starts next.